Kumusta ka mo? It's Viktoria Vox. I am a mother of a now almost 2-year-old boy, Isla. I thought of sharing to you 10 things I wish I knew before having a child. Now, you will never be 100% prepared for parenthood because there is always something more to learn. Some you find in books, the others you hear from friends, but most of them you learn through experience. Kisa adali lang, kisa abudlay, but most of the time, bearable. So if you're a new mom expecting your firstborn or have kids and want to learn more, here are some things I wish I had known sooner that I hope can help you through the journey. Breastfeeding ain't easy. Nothing about the difficulties that come with it are being talked about. Some women are just lucky to have a steady supply of breast milk and not experience the difficulties of breastfeeding. I can get into more details about this, but in the meantime, here's a rundown on pointers. Oh my god, it's painful as hell. Soaring, cracking, sometimes even bleeding. It's not as magical as they paint it to be. Proper latching and positioning, over and under supply, each has its own battles and each has its own struggles. So don't go telling an oversupply mother, you're so lucky. Because maybe they're not. So no, it's not always natural and effortless, but that doesn't mean it's hopeless. Get a lactation consultant and see what you can do to increase, lessen, or maintain your breast milk production. Remember when your house was spotless? Control is out of the window. Clean is out of the window. Crystals and glass accessories on the coffee table in the living room? Yep. Say goodbye to those. Hide them and expect your house to get messy. Your keys will never be in the same place. Your walls will never be its original color. And no amount of control will ever control or discipline a child. Children are meant to make a mess, make mistakes, and we are meant to be here to guide them properly without controlling them. If you don't want them to touch it, then make sure they don't see it. Don't expect them to see it and not touch it. They're children. They're meant to explore. So for the next one, I actually talked about this in my previous video. Here's the link to that video. I even consulted with a doctor about this. Postpartum blues and postpartum depression is real. I didn't even know I had postpartum depression until after a year my child was born. Hindi tanan nga ginikanan may ara nga magical moment. Upod sa ilang mga bata. You are exhausted and it's very valid to feel not fine. You might not automatically think your child is the best thing in the world. Sometimes it's learned, and that's not a bad thing. So give yourself a chance to feel the wave of emotions and slowly heal from it. It's not easy to be a parent, and nobody expects you to be perfect. So ask for help when you need it. Surround yourself with supportive people. Give yourself time and talk to your doctor. Which brings me to my next point. Rest. After giving birth, give yourself a time to adjust. Lay in bed and stop yourself from wanting to be productive. Resting is the most productive thing you can do in the first 2 weeks. Maskin ano pa na batyagan mo nga okay ka na, nga pwede ka na mag-ubra. Kag maski ano mo pa kapalangga ang bata mo. Kinlanlan mo tulog, kag kinlanlan mo pahuway. Take as many naps as you can. This may sound redundant, but take a nap when your child is taking a nap. Plan out shifts with your partner if applicable. Hire a nanny. Whichever path you decide, just make sure you have time to rest. The more rest you get to take, the better mood you will be in. The better mood you are in, the more you can give to your life and your babies. You know when people plan their travels so well? Down to the activities. Some people fail to realize that birth is one of the most important milestones in their life and rely everything on the doctors. A birth plan is a document that consists of all your preferences upon giving birth, from when you get into labor down to after you deliver the baby. Do you need a birthing ball? Is there a specific birthing position you prefer? If a medical intervention has to take place, what interventions would you consent to? Can doctors use forceps on your baby? What about vacuum? Anesthesia or no anesthesia? Natural or oxytocin meds? And when the baby is out, would you like to see them right away? Would you want to enforce unang yakap? Do you want your partner in the room? Are male nurses allowed to help with the doctor? Good news is there is no right or wrong answer when it comes to having a birth plan. Just the answers that are right by you. Before heading into labor, be prepared. Consult with the doula or OB and craft your birth plan. So one thing we learned is never force your child to eat. And that includes forcing them to finish their food or sitting at the dining table for hours. I'm telling you, they're gonna end up with a bad relationship with food and would most likely resent it or have too much of it. You know, toddlers are meant to play. Hindi nga papungkuon mo sila sang 1 to 2 hours para maubos nila ila pagkaon nga hindi man nila gusto. Abi piliton ka man bipakanon sang pagkaon nga hindi mo gusto kag papungkuon ka sang 2 ka oras. Hindi bala punishment na. Ano pagid ayhan sa isa ka bata nga kadasig sang iya nga attention span? Treat your kids the way you want to be treated. They know if they're full or if they simply don't want to eat. Just let them play instead, and they'll eventually want to eat. For a child, the golden rule is, if he doesn't want to eat 15 to 20 minutes on the table, let him play. There's no use really of forcing them. Here's a test for you. Does your child like snacking but hate meal times? Is every day a struggle to let them eat on the table? If the answer is yes, then it's better to change how you offer them food. Let your babies be babies. They will cry, bite on things that they're not supposed to, accidentally scratch their faces, make a mess, play with their food, stumble, scrape their knees, slobber all over their clothes. This will eventually pass. But while they are this tiny, let them be babies and do what babies do. Let them have the freedom to make a mess, play, stumble. Controlling every move they make will restrict them to their full potential, capabilities, and enjoyment. Let them explore. You know what? Just clean up their mess afterwards. Just guide them if they want to explore going up the stairs and not restrict them. Just let them be babies. Your kid will fall, and that's okay. When you're a parent, of course, you want what's only best for your kid. You want them safe and healthy, but no matter how careful you are, matumba kag matumba gid na. Mapilasan, masakitan, kag mahibi sa frustration. When it happens, let them. Because these are all moments to learn from, and these will help them know themselves better. It doesn't mean you don't care. What it reinforces is that you believe in them, that you know what they're capable of, and you trust them. So if they fall, just let them. Watch them get back on their feet and remind them that you're right there for backup. Oh, and do not react, respond. Your child often mirrors your energy, so when you panicked, they panic. So when they break a glass or fall in a bike, don't scream. Ay! Ay! When your kid sees you in a relaxed state, they're reminded that it's okay, that they're okay. You know why? Because toddlers are still learning their default responses to situations. They turn to you as their baseline. So kung natataranta ka, syempre, iiyak din sila. Matataranta din sila. If you take it as it is, they'll also take it as it is. So the next time your kid bumps his head or trips, just check on them and say, are you okay? What do you feel? This reinforces their strengths positively instead of making them panic. There is no one-size-fits-all baby. Not all babies progress at the same rate. Some start walking sooner than others, some have complete teeth before knowing how to run, some would be taller than others. Their growth will vary, and that's a good thing. It means that your child is and will be their own person. Comparing your child with other kids will just leave you with unnecessary disappointments or even worry when there really isn't anything to worry about. Sometimes I compare my child to kids his age and think, why he's not able to say more words than babies his age, but is very physically adept actually. He doesn't even know how to say mama or mommy at 2 years old. But you know, I avoid interactions that push me to compare my kid to theirs, because why? Preserve your mental health, girl, you need to. You know, I cannot stress this enough, but sleep training is a lifesaver. A few months after giving birth to Isla, I was slowly trying to find my groove again. I wanted to get on projects that I was excited about, pero kabudlay, kung may ara ka bata. It felt like I was constantly on call. He constantly wanted to be on me or my husband, so we would take turns carrying him on our chest because he didn't like sleeping on his crib. Imagine holding your kid on your chest all day, or holding him on one hand and trying to work on the other. Grabe ka, boy. And you know what the major problem was? It wasn't the crying. It was sleep. We weren't actually the only ones who lacked sleep. Also our baby. That situation pushed us to our wits' end, and we desperately needed a solution. We learned about sleep training, and while we were very skeptical at first, like you might be right now, we had to reconsider it because it was a bit pricey, but we also knew that sleep was so important. It was such a key factor to be mentally and physically well. So we took the leap and a few thousand pesos and invested on a sleep coach to sleep train Isla. Sleep training teaches your children to be independent and self-soothe. Lo and behold, just two nights of sleep training did the trick. We were able to put him down on his own crib, and he was able to sleep throughout the night. Yep, the whole 12 hours. After 6 months, we were finally able to sleep for 8 straight hours. I really wished I had known these sooner. And I do hope it helps you on your journey. Pero may matandaan nga, there is no formula or cheat sheet into becoming a mom or dad or parent. Sometimes you just have to experience it for yourself. And the ironic part is, what works for one kid may not work for the next. But that's okay, because motherhood is a never-ending journey. It's a lifelong journey that will keep teaching us how to love better. Oo, kapoy, budlay. And sometimes it's really crazy. There will be moments where you'll feel frustrated with your baby. Hindi magtulog, hindi magdede, hibi kag hibi lang. Hindi mo ba tiyagan mo na wala nga tanan nga ginaubra mo, wala lang ganyan may magana, how? The sleep deprivation will pass. You'll recover from postpartum blues, and you'll eventually know how to attend to your baby's needs without Googling it every second. But on days that are a bit harder, here are a few things to remember. When in doubt, ask for help. Asking for help doesn't make you a bad mother or a weak mother. If you feel like you are scratching the surface of depression, consult a doctor. Consult a psychiatrist or psychologist. If you feel like your breastfeeding isn't where it should be, get a lactation consultant if you need. Make your own rules. There is no one-size-fits-all handbook on how to be a parent. Do what you believe is best for you and your child, and keep relearning how to love them better. Listen to them. Watch how they respond and keep getting to know them. Get ready to adjust. As funny as it sounds, get ready to make those rules and adjust them too. Nothing is set on stone, and that includes your kid. One day he will love veggies. The next, he'll hate anything green. As difficult as it is sometimes, we have to know that our kids have lives of their own, choices of their own, mind of their own, and they too will grow into whatever they choose to be. And as parents, it's on us to guide them and to help them make better decisions, but never to rule over them. So if you're a first-time mom just like me, know that you're not on this alone. And on days you're not quite sure if you're doing things right, don't be afraid to ask for help. On moments you feel like you're not quite sure what you're doing, know that you can make your own rules. And on days that you feel like those rules no longer apply, get ready to adjust them. So this is actually the 33rd episode of this makeup therapy series. And if you like content such as this, please hit the like, the share, comment your thoughts down below, and don't forget to subscribe. Bye.